Hi there, and welcome to today's video on the leadership vacuum, where I explain what it is, why you should watch out for this phenomenon in your leadership, as well as things that you can do to exit this. My name is Aishwarya Rajmohan, and I am an executive coach and speaker supporting women working in majority male industries with building the confidence to take their careers and businesses to the next level. If you haven't heard of the leadership vacuum, it simply is a situation where the leader or leaders, perhaps of a team, they disappear either physically, emotionally, or energetically, leaving a void in their absence. And there's a lot of disruption that goes with this. Now, it can happen in an organizational setting, i.e., leading a team, the macro context, as well as in a micro context where it's about your self-leadership, where you are not able to be fully present in your own self-leadership, and that causes disruption in your own life. We're going to look at both contexts because I think both are super important for women. A couple of years ago, I worked for an organization that went through this exact dynamic. We were stepping into the next phase of our evolution, and our leader, the leader of our team at the same time, was going through something personal, something positive. So she had a positive thing show up in her life, and she was already planning her exit, which meant that she showed up without any emotional or energetic connection with where this team was headed, where our organization was headed. And even though the logistical things were happening in the background as normal, we were all feeling very unsettled. For me personally, this was my worst experience of being on a team, and it was also my last experience because I've been self-employed ever since, but not that the two are related, but it also caused a lot of disruption in other senses, and I'll explain a little bit. I think what also happened was that the leader in question, she was not confident about her vision or being able to lead a team into the next chapter. She was not a visionary. She was somebody who worked in the background, got things done. She wasn't somebody who was charismatic and able to lead us with energy, enthusiasm. And I think it was very convenient for her that the personal circumstance happened at the same time. And it left me, that experience left me longing for that stability that I used to sense in a positive male-led team, right? In a positive experience that I've had with those kind of teams, where whatever storms were happening at the top level, those of us who are lower down in the hierarchy were protected somewhat from those effects. Another thing happened with this leadership vacuum that the leader created. We had people, strong, dominant personalities, circle the organization like vultures. Now, they were probably looking at the lack of leadership and looking for their own way in to step in. They were perhaps looking for their next purpose, and they were sensing this might be the right opportunity to find that purpose. I'm glad to say that it didn't really happen, but they would show up suddenly a couple of days a month in the office, attending meetings or taking meetings there. So it was clear that they were kind of surveying the landscape for how it would benefit them. Now, all of these things can happen if you have this leadership vacuum in your team. Secondly, the personal context, the micro context. This is also something that can occur within yourself, where you're not showing self-leadership. And it could be because you have some personal circumstances that are causing that. You might have something taking your energy, focus, and attention away, which leaves you without a sense of direction, without clear decisions, without clear understanding of where you are and where you are headed. And that you should watch out for because that's when people can step in, influence you, sometimes manipulate you, sometimes push you in the direction that they would prefer you to go. So watch out for that as well in your own personal leadership, self-leadership rather. Now, why this is so important for women is that things like decision making It's been proved biologically that we are using a lot of our emotions, our intuition. We are responding to how people respond to us and their own emotions. So we are perceptive towards not just our own feelings and emotions and what's going on within us, but we are also really feeling into what everyone else around us feels. So there's a lot of things that we have to filter through when we make decisions. So when there's some chaos, it can be very, very difficult for us to really arrive at a strong decision point. And we create the disruption unintentionally for our teams, for the people we work with. Now, there are three ways to step out of this pattern. And I would like you to pay attention because they are super important things for you to consider. Firstly, you have to develop a decision-making protocol. For times like this, when it's very difficult for you to get to your rational mind because of all the other things that you have to consider. Some of us might be able to get there very quickly, but you have to develop your own protocol. And if that's something that you don't have at the moment, I can help you develop it. It's the best thing I did for myself. Secondly, recognize that as a leader, you don't have to have all the answers. Women work very well collaboratively, and it doesn't mean that you should be the one who is contributing to the direction or the decision. You can listen to other voices. And thirdly, even the decision making can be collaborative. You can vote on what direction you should take as a team. So make it easy for yourself. Don't put the pressure on yourself, especially when there's a lot going on. But have a way, have a process, have a protocol. And if that's missing in you currently, if that's missing in your life currently, I encourage you to reach out and I can support you with coaching to develop that protocol. Because the further up the hierarchy you go, the more decisions you'll have to make. That's what leadership is about. You're going to have to make hundreds of decisions, each month. So the more you're able to do that with clarity, with confidence, with decisiveness, with authority, the better a leader you will be. And you're not going to be creating these vacuums. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'd love to hear in the comments as well. What are you taking away? What are you going to put into place in your own decision-making protocol after watching this video? Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.